It certainly is, Richard Reserve. This is a lunch break for Canadian Club, and we've got the skipper of the T20 World Champions right here on Triple M Cricket. Finchy, I know you've probably not got used to it, but it's been a few weeks now, but congratulations again, mate, on winning the T20.
Thank you, mate. It was fantastic. The commitment from the boys, how we stuck together. There wasn't a huge amount of support for us in terms of people backing us, tipping us, as you will. So, yeah, it was very, very, very nice.
Yeah, you went over there hiding to nothing. I don't think expectations after Bangladesh and West Indies were too high. Got in there, and it must be said, the 2 trial games, you won those, but...
We won the first, lost the second.
Well, and then you go to South Africa and just limped over the line. I think a lot of Aussies were thinking, Jesus, we're in for a long one here. But how much of that is just getting yourself into the game and having a full-strength team on the park and just playing together for an amount of time?
Yeah, that's a really important point. I think we went to the West Indies and Bangladesh with not able to pick a full squad of players. Yep. There was guys who were missing because of injury or resting or family commitments. And that's been the case for a little while. In New Zealand, we weren't able to select the same because the test squad was meant to be playing in South Africa at the time. So the continuity of squad wasn't really there, and it wasn't until we got to the World Cup that we were able to sort of bed down how we wanted to play and really be specific with individuals on their roles within the side.
So when you've got someone like a Mitch Marsh, who's much loved in every team he's in, but he's on the nose a little bit with some cricketing public, then you've got someone like Steve Smith, and people back home are saying he shouldn't be in the team and Stoner should be there. Then they're looking at your position, they're looking at Wade and so forth. Do you listen to any of that stuff, or is it literally your squad and you know exactly what you're trying to do, you know who you're going to pick, so all that other stuff doesn't distract you?
None of it distracted us because we were really clear with how we selected the squad, and it was specific with the way that we went about structuring up our team. We changed our tact over the last month beforehand. In the whole leading up to the T20 World Cup that was meant to be in Australia, we went with 5 specialist bowlers, 6 batters. Going to the subcontinent, we felt as though we needed that extra batting, that batting depth, and Maxwell, Stoinis and Marsh could be that 5th bowler and be really effective. So that was a bit of a change in structure of the team, which Mitch then went to 3, Smith 4, Maxwell 5. So we felt as though we had enough firepower up the top, enough class and spin ability through the middle, and then power and finesse with Wade and Stoinis towards the back end of the innings. And then with our bowling attack, it was a real toss-up. Kane Richardson was unbelievably unlucky to miss out on selection in any of the games because he's as good as anyone in the world. And it just happened that we decided we were going to try and front-end our innings. We were looking for power play wickets. We felt as though that was more important than having a little bit of death coverage with our bowling. So that's why the attack was Stark, Cummins and Hazelwood. We didn't listen to any outside noise. I know Adam Zampa, he wrote down a lot of notes and he took a few paper clippings and screenshots of some quotes of people, and he just said it was keeping the receipts.
Well, he certainly did a fantastic job there. He's a great player.
Well, the big thing there, you talk about the depth that you had. Richardson misses out. And if you're a captain, if you're a selector, you always better worry about who to leave out rather than who to pick. So a great position to be into. Now, I reckon you're going to be honest enough with us here. And I've got to throw this question out. How much of it is a player and how much of it is a captain when you win a World Cup 2020? I'm tipping captain with your background and your...
No, I think the captain has
how you rate yourself?
Oh, shut up. I think the captain has a part to play.
Yeah, without doubt.
Purely in the strategy side of it. Also, I guess the relationship side of it, where you're able to be really clear with guys about their roles and their side and be honest with them. It was some really tough conversations after the selection of the first game, leaving out Ashton Agar, who was arguably in the best form of his life and Australia's most important bowler over the last couple of years, along with Kane Richardson as well.
And in those conditions too.
In those conditions, we just went away from playing 2 spinners because we felt Maxi could do a really good job on some wickets that had seen some traffic with a big IPL just played there as well. So that were some tough conversations that we had, but they were really honest conversations. And once you get it out there, you're able to move on from it, and the players are obviously disappointed, but because you're honest with them, you can move on from it pretty quick and then move your attention to the team.
I reckon we've gone away from the days where players sook up when they get dropped. They just have a look at it and you think, well, yeah, this is a good team. I'm just on the outer, but I'm on the verge. Because a lot of players, when you drop them, they tend to slide away and not give a lot of training. But the squad that you have together, this test squad, if you're in the squad, the mentality is you train like you're going to play.
Absolutely. We had some guys who were on the outer, Agar, Kane Richardson, Mitch Swepson, Josh Inglis, and then we had 2 travelling reserves in Daniel Sams and Nathan Ellis, who their energy and what they brought to the team at training was as important as anything that happened on the ground, because it was such a squad mentality. And you know that at some point you're going to need all your squad to win a World Cup. And we went through and only played 12 players, I think. So that was a really unique situation that we were injury-free as well. So it was just one of those situations where everything clicked at the right time for us.
And great captaincy.
Oh, the captain. Well, you're too modest to say that.
We love it.
No one else has ever done it, so let's just lock that in. It all started well, a little battle down, but you won. Then England gave you an absolute touch-up.
Yep.
So can we talk about England just for a moment, because then obviously we know what happens then, but we need to talk about Mitch Marsh. We need to talk about Warner being the player of the year, a player of the tournament. What was that for you, losing to England so badly? How did you feel that day?
Oh, it was tough, no doubt. We were totally outplayed. And I think at times you're okay with being outplayed. We felt as though our tactics were right. They got it right with the new ball. Chris Wokes bowled a great opening spell, got us on the back foot early, and we went back to 5 bowlers. Ashton Agar come in for Mitch Marsh, so we didn't have that extra pure batting coverage. And they gave us an absolute touch-up. Josh Butler tore us to pieces in a small run chase. So what was really impressive with that is after that game, Pat Cummins actually addressed the group in the change rooms, and he said, look, we can't take our foot off the gas. We committed to being aggressive. We committed to taking the game on. Don't go away from that now just because we lost this game. If we're going to win this World Cup, it's not going to be by sitting back and waiting for an opportunity to present. You have to go and actually seek that out and put enough pressure back on an opposition that you make them question their tactics.
So you turned it around, went unbeaten, you won the World Cup. Just the performances of Mitch Marsh in particular, Wade in particular as well. It was so great waking up in the middle of the night and going, we're on here.
Yep.
And you got the job done.
The way that David Warner finished the tournament was unbelievable. To go bang bang with 70 and 50, Mitch Marsh, for him to walk out of the change rooms and go 6-4-4, that just wrestles any momentum back off New Zealand in the final and gets the game back on our terms a little bit. And that was unbelievable to have that confidence to walk out and do that. Adam Zampa, he had the tournament of his life, and for mine was player of the tournament to get the best players in the opposition out consistently over one day in T20 cricket. He is an unbelievable white ball bowler for Australia and has been for a long time.
Well, that's the thing, Gus. We talk about England and the change of the lineup. As soon as you leave a batsman out, things go pear-shaped, don't you? You think we've got enough batting, but the guys that bat down the left...
It wasn't because we thought we had enough batting. We just felt as though the matchups with the left-arm spinner against England were so... They were so weighted in our favour. We just didn't get enough runs. That was all it was.
But Wokes up front.
Oh, he was brilliant.
And when you lose a couple of wickets, you just sit back and think, wish they'd have gone for that maybe extra batting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Hindsight, speculation, sympathy, 3 things you can't delve into.
What about the celebrations quickly?
Not bad.
I know the Test players had to leave pretty much the next morning, but a few of you guys had a little bit extra time.
We had 24 hours or so in Dubai. The hotel we were staying was quite a big one. It had a beachfront and a couple of little bars there that we...
Can you sing us that famous song that you all sung over and over again?
No.
The one that Zampa...
I will not be singing.
Okie dokie, no worries. Thanks so much for joining us, big fella. 1 for 113.
We love it.
We love both of you, big fellas. Off 31 overs. Warner is 48. Labuschagne is 53. The partnership is 103. And Australia at the moment on top here at the Gabba. You're going to have more cricket in a moment here on Triple M Cricket. We've done the lunch break for Canadian Club. Make sure you pick up one of those CC Soda and Lime. Head to ccsummershout.com.au.